There's never going to be a perfect time to take action. If I can give somebody the encouragement to say, just get going, do something, even if it's terrible.
I'm here with Lorena, and she's about to share the simple system she's been using to turn views into sales. Plus, this game-changing one decision that helped her scale from $2,000 a month to $12,000 a month in just the last 6 months. So if you want to make videos that reach the right people, that get clicks and lead to sales, this one's for you. Welcome back to the Think Media Podcast, the #1 show bringing you unfiltered tips for building a profitable YouTube channel. I'm Nathan Eswine, one of the coaches here, and today you're going to learn from Lorena Pernalete. And she is this housekeeper who turned into an online business mogul through the power of YouTube. And she's got a niche channel. She's helping people pass the life insurance exam through clear, simple teaching. She's already helped well over 1,000 people do this and help them get licensed because they found her on YouTube. And she's going to share her method for turning views into sales step by step. I'm not going to let her leave anything hanging. And I want her to also break down the one choice that sped up her growth in a really big way just this past year. So Lorena, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, Nathan, super excited to be here. Grateful to you, to all of the coaches and the Think Media team, and happy to be here, ready to share however I can help.
Let's go. Well, I always appreciate your energy, Lorena, and I think this is going to be a fun conversation, a strategic one, but also just a fun one. So let's dive right in if that's cool with you. I'd love to talk about monetization and what that looks like right now. What are your sources of monetization and how does YouTube affect those?
Well, so the first one is actually AdSense. Surprisingly enough, that's what turned me into you guys. It was like, hey, this thing can actually pay me. Like, let's go. So that's definitely one. Right now, we're very good. We're doing really well with a course to help people license, as you mentioned. And actually, I do help people like plan and do things by way of life insurance. But right now, the main focus, the thing that we're making sure that we grow is the course, which has been a blessing.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So you essentially are what we would say is making money with YouTube, right? Well, you're kind of doing both. You can make money on YouTube, which is monetization through YouTube partner program, super chats, memberships, like the stuff on the platform that YouTube lets you unlock. Right. But there's this other method, right, of making money with YouTube, which is using YouTube to bring awareness to other products and services, right? So you got both going on right now.
Yes, definitely.
Very cool. Okay, so let's get into this. I want to talk about how you're able to turn views into sales, because as of right now, we were just talking before this recording, it's kind of crazy. Like you are projecting 6-figure territory now, right? In your business. And so I'd love to talk about where all that starts though, because I think sometimes we can get lost in like, oh, wow, they're making 6 figures or they're whatever. And it's like, oh, because they did a course or because they did coaching. And I think we forget that on YouTube, it starts with views though, right? It all starts with people and people finding you. And we're going to talk about how you take people from finding you to doing business with you. But I'd love to hear about when it comes to how you're getting views right now. I noticed on your channel, kind of a little nerdy thing that us coaches do, I sorted by most popular on your channel. And I noticed you have a lot of videos that outlier, that have overperformed. vidIQ, a tool like vidIQ shows me a little number. And what's interesting about that is you have videos from 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, but a big number of videos that are in your most popular are just from the last year. I'm talking like 4 months ago, they're like just from this last year. And so what I'm trying to say is I noticed you've had the biggest amount of growth on your channel in just this last year. It seems like the compounding effect of everything that you've been doing. So what have you learned about creating videos in a way to actually reach the right people? Let's just start there. How do you make videos not for everybody, but for the right people?
The coaching, that is thanks to you guys, by the way. Whatever you're seeing is the result of you guys tell me to do something and we just implement in a massive way. I take everybody's coaching. Coach Caleb is the one that is walking us through this journey directly, but I have direct contact with you, with Sam, and we just got back from a mastermind with Sean as well, which was unbelievable. But it all started with VRA. actually. It all started accidentally with a video that I uploaded because I was tired of answering the same question.
Let's talk about it. This is your most
And
popular one.
yeah,
Yes. Okay.
100%. It
Let's
was,
do it.
I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be this YouTube person. I hated cameras, but with my knees shaking, I said, I have to stop teaching this thing live because I was teaching the same concept 3, 4 times a day, 6 days a week. And so I'm like, no, you guys, I train people to get their license. And I'm like, if I have to teach this thing one more time, I'm going to lose it. So so I put a video together. It was 30 minutes. By the way, the very first one was really bad. Like the audio was terrible. And so we decided to do it. Not that we did much better, but it was definitely an improvement. The call to action for that video is, listen, you got to watch this 26 times and then come to me with questions.
I love that.
And then the pandemic came around. And a lot of people were looking at the life insurance industry to do business from home. And so I guess accidentally ranking a video, because it was not intentional, people started finding me and then they were asking, they're like, hey, do you teach? Can you teach me? And I'm like, no, I only teach my team. Guys, leave me alone. Wow. Until people were like, no, please take my money. How much do I have to pay you? And I did not know how to do that. And my father, during the process of the pandemic, I guess he saw how my one video was doing. And he's like, hey, you should watch this channel. And it was the Think Media channel.
This was your dad, you said?
Yeah. Blame my dad. Yeah.
That's so good.
So that happened. I started watching it and little by little started implementing things. And then in 2023, we signed up for VRA. It was August. I will not forget that. Wow. Just because my wife, Nori, who's in charge of making sure that everything works, I just talk a lot. That's it. But she is the genius behind the madness. And she said, if you really want to make this happen, then make it happen. And I'm like, oh no, I have no business spending money on this thing. But I bought the little VRA course, $97 a month. I think I'm grandfathering to the old platform even. It's not this fancy circle platform that you have now, but I'm like, hey. And I started watching the videos and taking notes, and I spent a good amount of time studying it. And Sean, in one of the videos, he said, what if you could actually pay your ad, like what you're investing through this video, make it work? And I like to be challenged. And that's exactly what happened. I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens. 3 months later, Nathan, we are paying the $97 for VRA through AdSense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There was that just in 3 months after getting in to, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were getting paid a month yes, a month no. So it was like $100 every other month.
Yes.
Until like we made a couple of adjustments and that actually turned into like, okay, now it's every month that we're getting the little $100. And it was like 3, maybe 4 months max. And I'm like, oh, wow. Whoa, wait a minute. This kind of works.
That is too cool. Okay. I didn't know that was that quick, like after getting in. So number one, that's awesome. And I do appreciate your kind words, but at the same time, you're also the one hitting record and publishing the videos and like actually outlining your content. So you said there were a few tweaks there that were responsible for essentially like doubling your ad revenue. What were some of those? You remember going back? I know this video was about 6 years ago, but it's sitting at about, 167,000 views right now, which is
I'll say that the 7 R's, it was, what is it? You guys always say, start with the end in mind.
That's right.
And so I always knew what I wanted to teach. My mindset has always been, I want to be an Advil. And what that means is you have a headache. I want to help you fix it. And we put these videos together just to answer the questions that I want. I wanted to have that level of direction in the business. I've been 12 years in the life insurance industry. I failed my test 3 times. So it's not like I'm some genius, that nothing like that. It was just, I failed and I learned, and I figure if I can help somebody shortcut their path to success, and for this industry, being licensed is the first step, and it changed my life, so I'm like, if I can help, if I can give to the industry abundantly mindset, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Abundant
If I
mindset.
can give to this industry as abundantly as it's given to me, where I no longer clean the rooms, I stay in the rooms, that it's like I'll do whatever to make sure that I can make my voice bigger, and do that. Especially for me in the Hispanic community, the English is my second language, and so I wanted to make sure that, man, the translation for the courses is terrible. It looks like somebody copied it from Google and pasted it over there, so it really is backwards and it makes no sense.
Wow.
I watch everybody right now with the Super Bowl, and they're trying to learn the Bad Bunny songs, and exactly how you feel learning the Bad Bunny songs is exactly how we feel, reading the stuff. So I lost my train of thought of what when you were asking me, but it's just that is Video Ranking Academy is like, start with the end in mind, fix the problem, and deliver the message. And so that was just it. My mindset was, how I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you solve that headache that you have. Because this is what gave me a hard time. And so we were there unapologetically, without filters.
Yeah.
And what that gave us was a level of authenticity that people were telling us, why are you not charging for this? And I'm like, I don't want to charge for it. I just want to put it out there.
Wow. Okay. So this is crazy. I mean, we're like 10 minutes in, and not only have we mentioned Bad Bunny, but that's a big one. But but also, you just dropped so many bombs. I have to loop back, Lorena. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It was going to be an energy episode. Okay, so let's break this down. Essentially, what I'm hearing you say is that video that popped off, your most popular video right now, came about out of frustration. It seems like you were tired of answering. There was this question, there's this situation, this thing that you kept getting questions about. And it's almost like you were tired of having to say the same thing over and over again. So you're like, I'm going to put this in the video, and that way I can share it with people, right? And he's like, if someone asks me the question, go watch the video. And to your point, watch it 26 times, right? Was your call to action in there. And so that alone is powerful. You are making content out of a pain point that you have experienced, but that other people are experiencing. And just to shout you out too, like the title of that video, I think is so fun, because you titled that video, the best video you'll see for your life and annuity insurance license. And so I love the bold promise of, this is it. This is the best video you're going to see on this whole topic. And sure enough, I mean, it worked out. Have you carried that forward? It seems like how do you come up with video ideas now? Because we're talking about this previous year has kind of been your best year in terms of overall viewership and stuff. I was doing averages, and it looks like, every month on average, you're getting 30,000 views just across the views you've accumulated so far up to where we are at the time of recording. And so how do you make content now? Is it the same approach? Are you just answering questions, or have you moved on to other ways of creating ideas? I guess, how do you come up with your video ideas right now?
It's always the same thing. Is what gives me a headache, what as an agent today, what gave me a headache as I was trying to pass? What are some of the most common questions that people ask us? So the pain points are always the same. Hey, I failed my test 3 times. I don't understand. Hey, I don't understand this concept, and I get them confused. Hey, I've been studying for 6 months. I've been studying for a year. I have people that reach out to us that it's like, I've been at this for 3 years, and I kind of like just try it, and then I give up, and then I come back again. In some states, you only have 5 tries for you to pass the test. So there's a lot more pressure to pass. And so they're afraid. And all I do is I create the content to reassure and give direction. And like I said, Advil mindset is the number one thing that I could tell you is, you have a headache, I'm going to help you fix it from experience,
Wow. I think that alone is so powerful, because as a coach, one of the things that I'll hear consistently is, I don't know what videos to make. That's a very common pain point for people trying to do YouTube. I don't even know what videos I would make. And so I love this approach of the Advil mindset. What are the pain points for people, that you're trying to reach? And this obviously goes back to kind of what you were saying of, your audience, you know who you're trying to reach on YouTube, you know who you're making videos for, which just helps. Because if you know who you're making videos for, reverse engineering, right? Like we talked about, well, then now you know the pain points. And if you know the pain points, you know what people are taking Advil for, right? Well, now you can make videos to fill those needs. And just as like a side note, it's really ninja, because the higher the pain point, you know, like on the pain scale, if it's closer to a 10 out of 10 and you make a video to solve that issue, that pain point for people, there's the likelihood of it getting views quicker because it's a higher pain point. Not many people are looking up videos for like 4 out of 10s, you know, like they wait until it actually becomes a problem. But if you can make videos about the 7 out of 10 or it's a 9 out of 10, like you said, you've got people, you know, leaving comments telling you it's been 3 years, right, since they've passed an exam. That is a 10 out of 10 pain point, frustration. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so if you can capitalize on, you know, don't want to use that word like in a cold sense, but if you can be the person that shows up for someone when they're at the point where they're taking Advil and you can be that for them, that's just powerful. Like that's a really smart, strategic way to just start making content. Or if you're listening to this and you're stuck on what video to make next, refresh yourself. Remind yourself who you're actually chasing. Why are you on YouTube? Who do you want watching your videos? Where are they at right now? And think about the pain points that they're going through and how you can make a video to solve it. So that's powerful. I love that. Advil mindset. Okay, one more question I want to talk about as we start to break down your system here too, of how you're turning these views into course sales. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I want to hear one more thing about your content. What do you think makes content stand out right now? Or maybe a better question is, what do you think makes your content stand out amongst the other people that could be on YouTube trying to help people pass their exams? Like, what makes your approach and your style different? Why do you think people resonate with you?
That's a great question. I'm blessed to be able to be part of a niche that is not necessarily, to be completely frank, right? It's not necessarily that competitive in the sense that there's not a lot of people creating content about it. So that's both a blessing and a challenge. It is a blessing because in Spanish we say el que pega primero pega dos veces, which means if you take the ball first, you're more than likely going to win. However, then it becomes a challenge because a lot of the strategies is, can you compare with your competition so that you have the opportunity to, what is going well, what works for your niche. And it's a little difficult to do that. So that's the first thing. And then the people that do have a channel that would be considered the competition, they have long, boring videos. The insurance industry is extremely boring. If you want a party to be empty, just say that you sell insurance, and I promise you, like, half the room is gonna empty. So that being said, one of the things that I'm like, I am who I am. Like, I'm pretty quirky, I guess is the word, when it comes to delivering a message. And I guess people connect to that because I also talk a lot through old sayings, I guess.
Yeah, they're called idioms and proverbs. So it's like some sort of motto, like a catchphrase sort of thing.
Right.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
So I have a lot of those catchy phrases because my grandma talks like that. And my Spanish is 7th grade Spanish, which gives me the opportunity to, like, I don't have a very sophisticated vocabulary, neither in Spanish nor in English. So it gives me the opportunity to connect to people because concepts that is so boring and so long and so blah, which is insurance, I get to connect it to those little idioms and little things like that give somebody an opportunity to connect it.
Got it. So you are taking the boring, complex world of insurance and studying for that exam, and you're helping people study by breaking it down into simple terms, like easy to understand sayings and catchphrases and stuff like that. Very cool. And I want to catch on something that you just said there. You said 7th grade level for Spanish or for English. And I actually want to say, for the content creator, no matter what language you speak, if you can be in that 5th I think some people even say 5th grade level, 5th to 7th grade level of how you talk. Not that that's like all you know or anything, but just like how you talk about your content, how you teach, how you deliver content, especially if you're making content that's targeted towards beginners in your niche and you are the expert. It's kind of your job to make sure that you're communicating in a way that the beginner understands it. So I just want to say that's a really good tactic that someone could take away in your next video. Make sure that you're talking. I've heard Sean call it, make sure that you have the kitchen talk, not the classroom talk, right? About like if we're hanging out, in a kitchen or something and we're just talking and catching up, how you talk there is more likely to resonate with a beginner because they're at the beginner stage, right? They're not you and don't have your expertise. So that's powerful. That's really powerful. So what do you say on camera when you want people to take that next step? When you want people to check out your course? Like, what are you doing in your videos to get people there?
Okay, so in one of the mastermind classes that Sean did, he talks about seeding. And so that was one of the things we grabbed that concept like a dog with a bone and ran with it, which is one of my students does this. One of my students yesterday asked me. So there is that. So throughout the video, my videos are usually 8 to 10 minutes long. And so we do a lot of seeding through the process, which is not flat out saying that we're selling a course. It was just kind of like, hey, well, wow, there are students, there are this. And then we moved on to, at the end, is more of a, hey, if you believe that this is actually something that is helpful, you can, and I have usually one of two calls to actions. The first one is to a guide. And the guide, you have helped me clean up the funnel, right? Hey, download a free guide. If you want this content, 30 minutes in one page, click to this link. And so they download the guide and that gives me name, phone number, and email. But if not, I actually, again, from another mastermind with Sean, he says a lot of the website stuff, right? So he says, can you make your website simple so that somebody can go visit? So what is it? Thinkmasterclass.com.
Yes.
Right. So for me, it's jopaso.com, which means ipass.com.
Wow. You got that domain name, the website for, what is it again? ipass.com?
Yeah. Well, in Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's remarkable that you have that domain name. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome.
I couldn't believe it was that easy to find. I'm like, well, people are not.
You're like, how is this available?
You.
Yeah. Too fun. Man, okay, so what you're talking about is you make a YouTube video and the typical YouTuber would probably have a call to action that's more like, make sure you like, subscribe, watch another video, hit the notification bell. But your call to actions are for a different reason. You're using YouTube to get people aware of how you can help them off the platform. So you're saying that you're seeding, so you're talking naturally about the fact that you have a course and the fact that you have students and like, this is just something that you do, And I love that because I think a difficulty, Lorena, for a lot of people is feeling comfortable talking about this place that they want people to go, or this course they want people to see, or this membership site that they're building, or their book that they just launched. Like if you're creating on YouTube, you're a creative person. And so you probably have a lot of things you want to create. And if you make YouTube videos, you can help people become more aware of them. But then there's a hang up where we don't want to feel like we're selling, or we don't want to feel we have a bad relationship with selling, or we feel like, it doesn't feel natural for me to talk about this thing. And so we never talk about the thing that we're building. Did you ever feel any of that friction? And especially as a coach too, right? How you help people work through a call to action. Really, how do you help people feel more comfortable asking people to click the link in the description? What's helped you?
I sweat still. Just
thanks for the honest answer. Yeah,
it is so uncomfortable, but so I'm not gonna lie, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
The stories that sitting I can do all day and twice on Sunday. I can do that all day, no problem. When it comes to doing the call to action, I'm so grateful that domain was available because it makes it simple. But I asked a question in the mastermind in February about how much is selling too much. And Sean just kind of like, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not selling enough in the videos. And so, and then working with Caleb directly, he is very like, so where's your call to action? Where's your call to action? Where's your call to action? And I'm like, okay, so I'm just following a set of instructions. I want to be successful. You guys know what you're doing. I have no clue. I know what I know. I know insurance. I know how to get your results. You will pass your test. We had somebody pass in 24 hours. Wow. But on average, they pass in 2 weeks. So it's like, I know how to get you there. And I'm so comfortable doing that. You guys tell me what I have to do with everything else and I'll just execute.
Man, it's powerful. And I do appreciate you, shouting at our team and Think Media and like just how, we've been able to help you in your journey. And so if someone's listening, if you aren't familiar with Think Media stuff, or you just have questions about anything Lorena's talked about, like a mastermind or coaching or whatever, I really encourage you to go to viralvideocoach.com. and just have a look around. You can fill out some information to see if you qualify for a call with our team. And it's just a call, and there's no strings attached. And you can just say, hey, I heard this podcast with Lorena and Coach Nathan was talking about something. I just want to learn more about what you all offer here. I heard you have coaching. I heard there's this mastermind, and our team can just help you find what might be the next unlock for you in your journey. So you can go to viralvideocoach.com. And this is a little funny, Lorena, because this is so meta. Like I just did what we're just talking about. And so I know it's like we're all here together, but that was easier to do because it's just like, well, this is naturally what we're talking about. Like, I know this is so weird if you're listening and you're like, wow, Nathan just did the thing that like he's talking about with Lorena. But like, I hope that that's even an example in itself. You have things that help people. We wouldn't be talking right here if we hadn't been able to connect through some of the stuff that, we offer to people. And so just all have to say out loud, if you believe in what you have to offer people, I know you believe in your course. I know you believe in your coaching. So if you're listening to this and you've got something, even if it's a book or a PDF or like whatever it is, if your heart's behind it and this is helpful, I want to challenge you as your coach on this podcast right here to be like, how could you not talk about it? How could you not talk about this thing? And of course, it can take some practice, take some reps. Maybe you have a coach over your shoulder that's like helping you know what to say and like where to say it. But man, you've got to talk about what you're creating to help people. Because if you're solving problems, nobody knows that you can help them unless you talk about it, right? So there's a powerful insight there, Lorena. I appreciate that. Okay, so we talked about like in the video, you're saying stuff. You're like have a call to action and you are pointing people to either something that's free or you're pointing people, where's the second place you're pointing people? Is that directly to a landing page for the course?
Yes, to buy.
Okay. Okay, and how do you make that decision between knowing what video you would point people to a free download, or I'm assuming to get people on your email list or in your contact list versus pointing people to a page for the course? Like, how do you decide which way to go?
That's a great question. So a lot of my videos are how to do this. Here's a checklist for that. Here is it. The 3 main types of insurance. This is the biggest headache that you're going to have. I'm going to give it to you in a 1 page. So that if I have that, it's not either or, it's both, right? What is it? Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F. Both, same thing. I give the call to action to the download, and it's like, if this helped you and you want it to do a little more, then make sure that you check out yopaso.com. So it's not either or. Okay. It's always both. Yeah.
It's always both. That's huge, podcast. If you're listening, who says you just have to have one call to action? Right? Like, I know Sean will do multiple call to actions. I think I'll encourage people often to do multiple calls to actions. You think about a primary place that you want people to go, or like, because this is how I talk when we're coaching business owners, like, hey, because you made a YouTube video, what changes in your business? Like, if there was something that could change because you posted a video, did you get a course sale? Did someone book a discovery call? Did someone get your book? Like, whatever it is you want to have happen, making sure that that's the primary call to action, and thinking about your video and making sure that that's, you're making people aware of that. But I love how you said it's both, because whoever, depending on who's watching your video, they could be watching you for the first time, or they could have already gotten the free thing and now they're ready to go check out your course because it's the 7th video they've watched of yours, or if it's for every video where it's if someone's already seen your content, there's new people that might be like, oh yeah, thanks, I'll check out the free thing right now. I think, Lorena, what have you learned about the audience and what have you learned about YouTube? Because something that I keep realizing is that the world's a lot bigger than we think, and that our niches are a lot bigger than we think. And sometimes I hear creators, even myself, will say, I've already said that before. Or people have already heard me say that before. And it's like, I think we just assume that everybody knows everything about us, because I made a video on that 3 years ago. I've already said it. I can't talk about it anymore. Or I did a call to action in my last couple of videos. I don't need to do another one here. What is your mindset when you make a video about, how do you keep in front of you? This could be a video for brand new people. Because I made this video, new people could find me. Is that something that's come naturally to you, or if you had to work for that?
No, definitely not natural. Everything is learned. And so Sean mentioned the other, like he did. You guys always do like the new 2026. So right now you're already on 2026,
yes,
or 2025, and so I learned to actually look at my videos that, depending on how you're doing, and study them. And it's like, can I put a different spin on this, update it, and also get it in front of more people now that, as we're growing, thankfully, we have an opportunity to impact more people. So, we will create the 3 types of policy video. It took me 6 years to remake.
Wow.
And that is a video that I have learned from you guys that we should remake every year.
Oof, there it is. Yes. Very cool. Because every year, your audience should be growing, even if it's small, at first, but like, especially as, you're getting to a level where you're at, where it's, like I said earlier, you're about 30,000 views a month on average right now. That's not the same 30K. You know what I mean? Like, that's new. That's what YouTube does. It's a discovery machine. And so, just keeping that in mind, you should be repeating yourself. I think it's something that
I get better at delivery. I get better at this. Whoa. The background gets better. It serves somebody better. There's a little nuance there that you can give to some. So there's so many more things that is like, somebody will not do something because they already did it, and it's like, precisely because you did it and it gave you results. It's like that whole concept of chop wood and carry water. What happens? Well, you chop wood and carry water. That is it.
Oh man, I wish that I had a sound effect on my little pad over here that was like a bomb, because that was like a mind blow moment. It's so true. You need to repeat yourself, not just because new people could find you, but because ideally you're better at communicating. You're better at content. Your thumbnail or title could be better than you did it last year, or you're updating it from last year. Like, because you're better, you should be re-explaining the same thing over and over again and finding better ways to communicate it for maximum impact. That's a really, really good point. Such a good point. Okay, so let's move on. One more tactic here before we start talking about your course, start talking about how you're projecting 6 figures here. I would love to hear about, what do you do in your descriptions? Because a lot of people will say, hey, click the link in the description, to do whatever they're calling them to do. Check out their free thing, in your case, or go check out the course, right? Like, how do you use your description effectively to make sure that link is easy to find, it's clickable? Because I know a lot of people will just say things in their video, and this common practice at Think Media is, that's not good enough, right? We don't just want to say something in the video. There's other things we want to do. Yeah. What's your process right now?
You know what's awkward? Listening to yourself after you created the video. I still, to this day, I hate it. But I go through every video and I will make notes of my call to action. So Uh,
Wow.
4 things that I do. Number 1 is the cards. I will reference video, and if you want to see blah blah blah, boom, and then there's a card right here that shows up, or I don't know where it's gonna show up based on this, but that is such an important thing because it keeps people on platform. Um, when it comes to other videos, the end card as well,
Yeah.
the call to action to the next video is always that is so important. And when it comes to the description, if I have a guide, it is the first link above the fold, which is the one like before you hit the little 3 dots, boop, like that
That's
above
right.
there. There's one there, and then my link for the course. If it is relevant, I will put it right there as well. So say if there is no guide, the course will be there. And if there is a guide, the guide and the course will both be above the fold. And then I get yelled at if I don't put a pinned comment. So
I love it. It's a good
that's
coach.
the beautiful thing about having a coach, right? It's like, why are you eating cookies?
I saw you eat the cookie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Get off my Instagram. No, I'm just kidding.
Didn't he say that he found you? Like he saw, like he was looking at your last video or a recent upload, and he was like, "Hey, where's the pinned comment?"
I think literally, and I'm like,
goodness.
"Yo, coach, why?" I'm like,
shout out.
So,
Coach
but you
Caleb.
know what? I appreciate the level of accountability. I want to be a successful business owner. I don't know what I'm doing, so you tell me what to do, I'll do it. Here's one thing that I would say, Nate, if you allow me, is there was a discussion the other day that is like, oh, having 2 links above the fold or 1 or too many. There was a lot of questions about that. And I'm grateful to be blissfully unaware. Meaning, again, I just follow a set of instructions. What should you do? You should have a call to action to your guide and always to your course. That's what you guys do. I replicate that. I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I don't watch 15 million other people that are gurus. I decided to find one system, one way, and we want to stick to it and get the best that we can at it.
That's huge. That's a really big insight. It's kind of like, and again, I just appreciate, what you're saying about Think Media and stuff. I'd encourage you, if you're listening, find some system, right? Like, find something to do what you just said of focusing on one thing. I know Sean will toss around the acronym for focus is follow one course until successful, right? And so finding that one thing that's going to help you know what to do, that gives you your templates, that gives you your checklist, that helps you know when I post a video, here's what I do to my description. Like having your system in place is what I'm hearing from you. And you've seen part of the reason you've been successful. I actually would argue most of the reason you've been successful is, sure, there's some coaching in there, which is cool, but coaching without execution doesn't mean anything, right? And so the fact that, yeah, sure, you've gotten some coaching and that's cool, but that you've chosen to take action, that you are building the system, that you are replicating what people are doing. Like that's actually the thing that's where the needle moves, right? Is you actually deciding to do something with the coaching and trust, where you're getting it. And so that's huge when it comes to calls to actions. We talk a lot, Lorena, right? I know you and I have had calls too about the path of least resistance, like the least amount of friction possible. How can you make it as easy as possible for the viewer to do what you want them to do next? So if you want them to go get a free guide, if you want to point them to one of your products that you've got, like wherever you want them to go, just this idea of make it easy. Like don't bury that link all the way down in the description and there's a whole bunch of stuff and there's a lot of emojis that it's just like, make it simple. And so I pulled up one of your video descriptions from a little bit ago, and your opening line on the top of your description says this. I wanted to read it for all of us. Do you want to pass your life, health, and annuity insurance exam in 2 weeks? Visit, and then you put your link right there. And I'm like, it's genius because it's simple. You know what I mean? It's like no resistance. There's no complicated whatever. It's just, do you want to do this? Pain points, benefit driven. Do you want to pass this exam that's probably taking you a lot more times to do? You want me to help you do it quicker? If you do, click here. And I just love that. I thought it was a great example of not overthinking it and trying to keep it simple and just keeping your audience in mind, and to your point of not getting distracted, right? By like a whole bunch of things that people could be telling you to do to optimize your process. You've just stuck with it. Any final thoughts there when it comes to calls to actions, Lorena, or any advice you have given to people? I know we were all just hanging out in a mastermind together in person in Vegas, but anything that you've learned recently or that you'd pass on to someone who's struggling with this?
In Spanish, we say, you see, en el camino se enderezan las cargas, which means like, there's not literal translation, but I would say it's like, just do it. Like, actually the MIA concept, right? Massive imperfect action.
Let's go.
Just go for it. I think a lot of us, starting with me, I overthink this process. We uploaded the first video 6 years ago. Does it say 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
And started taking this seriously up until 2023, end of 2023, because my wife called me out and she's like, you want to make this happen? Well, let's make it happen. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you, babe. Right? So, yes. So it's like, don't overthink it. I have been guilty of overthinking Palooza. So the idea of just take massive imperfect action. No, I won't do it because I don't have this. We borrow the camera. Oh, I won't do this because I don't have this. We had the worst microphone ever. Oh, I want, and then because of the massive imperfect action, we were able to upgrade our camera. We were able to upgrade but you always learn by doing, but you never do by learning. So, like this whole concept of, I don't want to be a museum anymore. Museum just have stuff that just collect things and it's just dusty everywhere and you have to clean that thing. It's like, I want the car to move in so fast that there's no dust that can be collected, So that to me is the biggest. If I can give somebody a piece of advice that I wish didn't paralyze me for so many years, it would be that. Just do it. Take massive imperfect action. Stop being a museum. Start driving, becoming the driver of your own future. And everything will be figure outable, is it that you guys say?
Ooh, yeah, figure outable. Come on. Man, I feel like you're coaching me. I'm getting pumped up. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have one more thing I'd love to talk about. And by the way, you've been a great example of that. So I can attest firsthand that you are not speaking out of no experience. For you to encourage us to take the massive action is because you actually have. That's, why your channel's where it's at. So shout out to you too. And thanks for pouring into us and all the creators that are here listening with us. So I want to talk about, at the beginning of this episode, I kind of talked about this. There's this one choice that I know you made that sped up your growth in a big way. And so when it comes to your course, we've talked about the videos that you've made strategically to get the right people to watch your videos. And because it's the right people watching your videos, they're more likely to take you up on your call to action to go deeper. You want me to help you more than just the video? Here's a free thing. Here's a course. Here's a whatever, right? And so you've got this course. That is your bread and butter right now. But I don't think that was always your focus, right? So I wonder if you might tell us about this one decision that you made. And I believe it happened at like a dinner, right? Was it at the mastermind or something with Sean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, fill us in here because this is powerful.
Yeah, it actually was February last year, and I came to the mastermind excited. I was looking for clarity and I was looking for direction, and I was hit with reality. And so, it's like you ask and you shall receive, I guess. My business consists of 3 aspects. The first one is people can buy life insurance, retirement planning, infinite banking, all of that stuff through me. And that makes us really good money. People can actually also work with me as well. I mentor agents and they have the opportunity. I have my own agency independently, so they can actually, we can partner up and I can coach them so they can sell. But the one thing that was providing us leads for both things was actually the course. So if you think about it, like the course will maybe give somebody an opportunity to work with me. If they wanted to stick around, if they don't have to. And for some people, they're like, oh, wow, this girl really knows what she's doing. So maybe I should buy the product through her. But my channel was all over the place because I didn't have a clear, here is what I'm doing. This is what we're about.
Wow.
And at dinner for the mastermind, which is, books that you read, meetings you attend, and people you surround yourself with will change your life.
Ooh.
I asked one question to Sean, and he said, do you really believe that the course can can help you build a business? And at that moment, we were making maybe $1,500 from the course. It was extra income. It wasn't anything, crazy. But I'm like, it fits everything else. I think so. And he said, well, then just focus on that. I hated it. Because I'm like, oh, I came here because I wanted to grow all 3 areas of my business and all of these things. And I'm like, I'm all the way in Vegas. I'm from Florida. And I couldn't sleep that night. But I asked for clarity, right? If I am going to a place to ask for direction, you know what you're doing, I don't, then I better take action on what you told me. So I said, you know what, let's try it. We have another mastermind in October. Let's see what happens if we get rid of the other 2 and focus on the one. And because of that decision of just saying, it's not all 3, it's one, it's the course. This is what we're going to go for. This is what we're going to grow. This is where I cannot say that word, the FOCUS word, because in Spanish it comes across like we'll get banned. Just so you know. The accent doesn't help me say it. So you say the word, I won't. But so just having that level of monk-like discipline has helped us quadruple our business on all senses and grow our YouTube channel, and it's very clear. So yeah.
Wow. And just for clarity, that you're talking about the mastermind that was like 6 or 7 months ago. That really wasn't.
Yes. Correct.
So in the same year, in this past year, because I know that
7 months. Yeah.
6-7 months. You said quadrupled?
Yeah.
So what is your revenue, if you don't mind sharing, your revenue number, like most recent, like in a month?
Last month we made 12K.
Ooh.
And I was making 2,000.
You were making 2,000 earlier this year?
Yeah.
Before that conversation.
Yeah.
Choosing to focus and then going.
That word. So
6-7 months later, from 2 to 12.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome, Lorena. Very, very cool. We were just at the most recent mastermind. I know we were celebrating some success for you. I don't think I realized how rapid that was, though. That's crazy from that one conversation. So it's about focusing. It's about choosing one thing. So where are you at now? Are you going to keep just focusing on the course, or do you think that has grown to a point where, I don't even be careful if Sean overhears, right? Like, I don't be careful. But like, where are you at now? Do you think, oh no, we keep going, or do you think it's at that place? That's crazy. 2,000 to 12,000.
So funny enough, I came to this mastermind again because I'm like, I'm ready to go to the next level. What is my next level? And I asked the question and bam.
Same answer?
I was thinking the next level is I'm ready to pick up another piece. And Sean says
answer.
He talks about the pumpkin contest, whatever. What is it?
The pumpkin plan. Yeah. How to grow a prize-winning pumpkin. Do you want to tell us, Lorena, how do you grow a prize-winning pumpkin?
You cut all the other little pumpkins away.
Yes, that's right.
And so, again, I'm terrified. But the last time I did it, it gave me results. So can I double down on that? Can I duplicate on that? How can I make the one thing better? You guys talked about that bridge. Right. The past mastermind, and it would continue to build. And at the beginning, that bridge was like a hanging bridge that was mainly rope and no boards whatsoever, and now we can comfortably get, like two big trucks through.
Let's go.
Well, what if you can turn that into like a highway, type of like a
Mm,
distributor type of thing? So, um, yeah,
powerful. Oh
not
my
not
goodness.
not happy with with
You
the
still feel like, nah, not yet. I thought, maybe. Oh man, but that's actually that's so wise, and that's why I love that event. And if you're listening, you're like, this mastermind. What are you talking about? You can check it out at thinkmediamastermind.com if you want to get information. We got another one coming up in February. But I love that challenge of it's such rapid growth, really, in such a short period of time. But it's the same answer, and I think it's just that that's that whole idea we talked about at the beginning of reverse engineering, playing the long game and really seeing where, if you just kind of like, it's the same concept, Lorena, as what you talked about, how you said you should be repeating yourself. You should remake a video on your channel, not only to reach more people, but because you should be better at it. Right. And so I think the idea, it's the same thing of, okay, you got this far, and so now let's do it again, knowing what you know now. Does it grow even more? Right. So it's just, man, I just appreciate you challenging all of us, myself included, to stay patient, to stay the course, to pick the one thing, right, to focus our energy on, for the sake of our energy actually being on it, right? Instead of trying to focus on a whole bunch of other things that we could be doing. So I love the system that you've built, Lorena, of making videos that reach the right people, that get the right people into your world, where you can then serve them through coursing, coaching, what have you. Well, hey, as we land the plane here, I'd love it if you wouldn't mind anything else that you would want to share with us, or a common mistake that you see channels making as you're a little further along now, right? You're like more of a veteran creator. So is there anything that you're seeing people doing that you would maybe want to give them some advice on?
Oh God, I hope that I'm no veteran yet. I always the student mindset.
Always growing. That's
Um,
right.
but I will. I'm happy to share my the little bit of nugget, and it's going back to that whole concept of just start.
Mm.
A lot of us, we make a lot of excuses, some of them valid, some of them not. And there's never going to be a perfect time to take action. There's never going to be a perfect time to do. But the other side of your business, the other side of your life, the career that you're dreaming of getting, is on the other side of you taking that massive imperfect action. So if I can give somebody the encouragement to say, just get going, do something, even if it's terrible, God, like just do it, because I promise you, you will be bad for a really long time. And if you can shorten that amount of time of being bad, or just get through the pain quickly, then you'll meet that other person. So, the next version of you, that next. So it's just encouraging you to do that. And there's again, I'll say it, three things, right, that will change your life: meetings you attend, people that you surround yourself with, and books that you read. And so get yourself around a community, around an environment, around a group of people, and into meetings that are going to challenge you, help you think in a different way. And what if you actually become that prize winning pumpkin yourself? Eliminate all of the distractions, eliminate all of the people that drain from you. Bet on the most important person in this conversation, which is you. And the rest of it, with faith and execution, will take care of itself.
Lorena, I have nothing more to add. Thank you so much for this conversation, which has been equally tactical, giving us some good game when it comes to creating content on YouTube, but also the motivation and encouragement as someone who could just be a few steps ahead, right, of someone who's listening, to let us know it's possible. But you got to go. You got to move. You got to change your circle. You got to get that next book, that next community, get to that event, right? You got to make these decisions to start putting yourself where you want to be. Well, hey, if you have gotten any amount of value out of this conversation, come on, let Lorena know. Let us know. Like, rate, share, review, wherever you're watching or listening. This is the Think Media Podcast. I'm Nathan Eswine, and I can't wait to connect with you in a future episode.